Hello, hello! It's another Maygay M1. Seem to be falling over these things at the minute. This one's one from James Hardy, I think. It's in reasonable shape. There's some corrosion here and there. It's not battery damage though, that's corrosion just from sitting in the environment. The processor doesn't look too fantastic. It's got a mod on the back. There's some link wires in the back there, but that looks like factory. It's too neat for... Yeah. It's too neat for the home enthusiast to have done. Well, maybe that bit's new. Yeah, but it looks like, that looks like factory. It's a... I noticed as well, it's a revision B board. And most of the ones I usually see are C. So I wonder if something's been done in the back of this to satisfy a new line of game or something. It also means that the schematics won't be exact, so I'll probably have to deal with that. Anyways, I fixed my test ROM. If I plug this in, you see, at the minute it does nothing. Bear a minute. Let's just turn it off. Not better with it on, isn't it? It does nothing, and one thing I noticed straight off the bat is I've got a constant high here, which is really strange. It's like the 556 here has been triggered all the time, but I've got a high here, and that never changes. That's high all the time. So this board's a little bit of an oddball. This board's stuck out of reset. And it's not a clock thing or anything. I've got a good clock. Clock pulses are working like a trooper. But yeah, we're stuck out of reset. And the sensitivity pod here does nothing. And when you trace this up, the output U11 ties up here at pin 1 of U12, and this is your high and low reset pin, and that's stuck high as well. This is the equivalent of U6, and it's stuck high. So, interesting. Very interesting. Oh, something else as well. Something jumping out the page at me, this. Just something rings alarm bells there. So, let's have a quick look at the schematics. Right. This pin's high all the time, and it shouldn't be. That means this is being active all the time. And this circuit, it should go higher than go low. I mean, that's high all the time, and this is high all the time. Which means that doesn't make sense. How can that and that be high all the time? That's an inverter. If that's high, that's low, and vice versa. There's something. HCO4. U12 should be an HCO4, but I don't think I saw that on the board. Hang on. Just bear with me a minute. We've got this 00 on the board here at U12. What's that all about? That's not an inverter, that's an AND gate. That's really weird. Has that been swapped out? I think what I'm going to do here is put the correct 04. No, is this part of that factory mod? No, it doesn't look like it. It might be. There's something. Doesn't make a blind bit of sense. Got some of these older pins there as well. Some of that needs resoldered, but yeah, I'm going to put the correct chip in here and see what happens. I don't know, it looks like it might be part of the factory mod, but it also looks like that's been replaced. That's been resoldered. Why would you do that? I don't see any reason why that would be a 00. Bizarre thing is the clocks still work even though that's a 00, so I don't know, it must be, I don't know. I'm going to put a 00 in here, a 04 in there anyway. So I'm looking at this, and this has been changed recently because you can see the flux, but it is also part of the factory mod. What's that all about? Right, so I replaced that U12 with the correct part. And now we're having a bit of weirdness going on with the reset circuit. Constant high there. So it's stuck out of reset. Got a kind of sometimes that can be a pulsing signal. See? There's something flaky with the reset. Now, I cut that pin there and rejoined it because I was wanting to see if there's something wrong with this U12 pin. And if not, there's something wrong down here. Something wrong with this 555 because it's always high. It's just constantly sitting high, and it shouldn't. It should trigger go high then go low, which gives you the reset up here. But I've tried a few different things. I tried eliminating Q1. I tried eliminating the Gallon processor reset from the equation. You see they've been, by lifting these two diodes here, there's one there and one there. So the GAL can't reset it, and the processor bus status and bus available lines can't reset it either. With no change. Still sitting stuck high. But I did notice something's happens sometimes. This doesn't always work. Look. Doesn't work for very long. It tries to run. But that's me shorten Q101 to ground. That should have the opposite effect. That should jam it in reset, but it's not. It's coming out to reset. See if it can do it again. I think this 556 is bust. There's something flaky in the reset circuit around this 556. Because grounding that should lock it in reset, but it's not, it's bringing it out. So I think something's wrong with this internally. I'm going to change to 556 next. It does look a little bit burnt up. A little white powder coming out of it actually. Yeah, I'm going to change that next and we'll see how we get on. I'll tell you something, that U11 looked absolutely terrible. When I cut it off, the legs were all powdery. And underneath it, it looks like it's been burnt. Don't see the same sort of damage to the other parts. Something's definitely been going on with that U11. Right, I went a wee bit ahead. I didn't film it, but I went a bit ahead. We replaced the 556 here. I've cut out U5 to 339 here because the outputs just didn't make any sense. They had noise on them, they were high, they were low, they were just totally random. And I have cut out this 374 here at U4 because it was red hot. It was burning my arm anytime I was probing around about the board, so there's no load on it, so it's obviously shorted. Fired it up and it was just resetting over and over and over and over, but I noticed that you could twist the processor a tiny little bit, just very, very slightly. So I checked underneath and the solder looked okay, but I reflowed it anyway. There we go. She lives. She's not out of surgery yet, but she lives. Now that's just a very, very basic test. I don't have a clue if the rest of it works. We'll need to check that out. The test ROM only makes use of the RAM, ROM, CPU and the 681 there in the corner. It doesn't test anything else, but it's a good starting point to do the rest of the repair. I know I've got a core system working, so now I can go about and use actual game ROMs and start testing outputs, inputs, stuff like that. So, just a quick progress report. We're going to call this part 1 of this repair. Part 2 will probably be at a later date. As you can just give you a brief tour, as you can see, it does have, like I said earlier, it does have a lot of just environmental corrosion. It's not battery damage. Battery damage is kind of green and horrible, but the traces are actually fine. Maybe one minor repair there. See it just there. Zoom in a bit. There's a wee quick fly past. You can see lots of parts are probably going to need repair. So these haven't been, this isn't battery damage. This white must is environmental. It's just it's been lying in a humid environment, lots of condensation. I think she'll live for the moment. That looks like it's been a pull from somewhere anyway. Yeah, she's alive for the moment. So to be continued. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, you get notifications of future videos. There's going to be quite a few Maygay videos coming up, I think. Some of them this one, some of them one worse. I also wouldn't mind to see, does anyone have a revision A M1? Not an M1A, a revision A M1 I could look at, because I've got a C. I've seen a D. I've got this B with the mod wires in the back, so I'm just curious what the A looks like underneath. What have they done different between the A and the B and the C? But anyways, alright, bye bye for now.